realized in few years and where we stand. And then we will see the steps to follow so that we can move fast forward.
Okay.
Now, how can the Buddha's journey illuminate our path to transformation? So we will take a reference from there, and then we will see what I'm doing in my life. I'm just joking. Did Buddha kept a pet dog with him
I
during
don't
the
think
journey?
so.
So the 10 stages of the Buddha's journey, we can summarize. The first stage was sheltered prince in a golden cage that I explained to you before. He was in a golden cage. We try to create a golden cage. He was already into the golden cage. That is the big difference.
Mm.
So we remain unsatisfied because we have not analyzed and examined that case is after a case, whether it's a golden case.
Mm.
I may have $10 million, but it is not going to give me that permanent peace and happiness. So, in one way, we are at an edge. We can examine why I'm struggling. What the heck? Why I don't have a time to do the practice? I'm trying to create a golden case. The Buddha did not have an opportunity for that, he already had. But I don't examine it. So when I don't examine, then I wake up in the morning and I struggle. I wake up in the midnight, I struggle. Aha, look at it. Now you have to judge yourself whether we are becoming a seeker or not, whether you are really a qualified seeker or not. What the heck, I get some loss. Why should I be worried? That is the way the world works. Profit, loss, victory, defeat, pain, and the pleasure. That is the nature of the world. So today I have a loss. Okay, calm down mind. Let me work more. Finished. But no, I struggle. First, you have to understand the very behavior, attitude, reaction, and the response. That will help me become a qualified seeker. And the moment I become a qualified seeker, there is no end to the peace and the calm. In the second stage that we discussed, it was the four incidents that took place in his life when he was walking, when he was on the horse cart. He saw the dead man, he encountered old age, he encountered sickness and the death, and he saw a monk. Do I have a time to think of it? What to think? Should I think of my illness? Yes. Today you are healthy, tomorrow you are sick. Do you have control over your sickness? No.
No.
I don't have control over my sickness. Then why the hell I'm living? If I don't have a control over sickness and the health, they are constantly changing. No one lived in complete health since the birth. Oh, so the body is causing this suffering? Answer is yes. I don't have a time to think because I have more time to be anxiety, to enter into anxiety. I have more time to enter into the reaction and suffering. And then we say, oh, I've been doing for so many weeks and months and years, and do you think? I don't think. You think. Why should I think? You think. So the same
But
thing.
is the body suffering, or is it the mind that's actually suffering?
So I don't examine the very nature of the body because I have a human body. So as long as I identify with the body, definitely I am suffering with the body and the mind both, even though the experiences takes place in the mind. So the same thing with the death. Do I think that at least I will be saved? Everyone will die? No, I don't think that way. I'm little intelligent. So you are intelligent, okay. Then why you are running? Why you are struggling in your life? One day I have to leave it. Alexander the Great, before dying, he said, when I die, stretch all my fingers and keep my palm open so that I can send a message to every human being on this earth that look at this Alexander the Great who conquered the world and still has gone empty handed. So, do I examine? In the second stages, the Buddha examined instantly. He had that realization. How I have to do through my contemplation and reflection. If I don't contemplate and reflect, I don't have a time for contemplation and reflection, but I have a time for my anxiety, for my morning woes, for my evening struggle. Ask yourself whether I am a seeker or not. You have to ask yourself, who the hell I am to judge? I have nothing to do. Yeah, I'm just teaching you, passing on this knowledge. Third, now when you contemplate and reflect again and again, so you will have a sense of dispassion, you will have a sense of detachment. Hold on, anxiety, you stay away. I have serious problem to contemplate and reflect. I cannot live forever. Body cannot live forever. Body continues to have a dynamic state of health and sickness. Sickness enters as an unwanted guest. What should be done? The death of the body is inevitable. Old age. Today I'm just jumping in the world. Look at me, how stronger I am. Wait for another 40 years, then I will ask you how stronger you are. Oh, but is it inevitable? Yes, even if I'm a wrestler, I have won the Olympics gold medal, but once I start over 70 or 80, my level of energy and stamina and the strength has to go down because the destructive process of the body. Then why the hell I'm living? What is the purpose of my life? To find out. Fourth incident in the life of a Buddha. Now see, my friend, we have millions of these events have passed in our life since we are mature. We have seen hundreds of people suffering in the old age, hundreds of thousands of the people who died, even in our relations, and sickness, and still I don't examine it. He examined only he saw one sick guy, one dead person, one old age, and one monk. Now ask yourself, we have been doing this session for so many weeks, months, and years, why it is not inspiring and motivating you. Any event, any one event can inspire you and make your mind commit to the journey. 50% of your anxiety reaction will go away. So the third stage of his life is the great departure. I call it as a great departure. He was in a golden case, he realized it, he saw these four events, he examined. It's a common sense. I don't need a higher IQ. It's a common sense, but I don't want to think. Why I don't want to think? Because I have a lot of struggle in my life. You see, I focus on the lot of struggle. It is because of this, because I don't examine. So the great departure, what happened, great departure, he said, no, nothing doing. My dad will not allow me to meditate in the, because he will put me again into the golden case. My wife will ask me to have more pleasure. So hence I should leave. The equal, or I would say equivalent of departure of the Buddha from the kingdom would be that at least I should find 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening. Yes, 1 hour mind, you need not to think of the world outside. You need not to think about the relationship outside. I have departed from this world in this hour. I have my own home. I'm lucky. I have all the means that I can depart from the world mentally and emotionally, but I don't do it. I bring the world again inside me. I'm striking your head in the morning again. So I have a struggle. Ah, are you understanding clearly?
Yeah.
If you have any objection, you say, I have lot of objection. I cannot get rid of my struggle. I have already explained to you why you have a struggle. Now the fourth, I have committed, let the world go to hell. My master used to say, let the world go to hell, even for half an hour. But my master used to say the full phrase, I am in the state of peace and happiness, let the world go to hell. What it means? That world with its relationship, with its challenges, with its problem, with its anxiety is not in my mind. I'm happy. That is becoming a monk inside. So once I do this, follow this third stage, that is what the moment you determine that this hour is goodbye to the world. In the morning, in the evening, this hour is goodbye to the world. You have become a inner monk. You have become a monk inside. I know you may ask the question, no, should I leave everything? No, you need not to leave anything. That is what Buddha taught later, but he did all the practices. The fourth stage was the ascetic years, penance, or you can say self discipline. He incurred the self discipline under the guidance of a teacher. And the teacher was also the crazy teacher in those days. He was the Hatha Yoga and the Tantra master. Once I get the name, I'll tell you. He said, you are a prince. He asked the background and he said, oh, you are a prince. What you have been doing for these years? Oh, my dad did this and I was enjoying. Oh, so if you want to be my student, if you want to be a qualified seeker, you have to sleep on the floor. Are you ready? He said, yes. Do I have that commitment? I'm simply saying, say goodbye to the world for an hour in the morning and evening. I'm not saying leave everything. I'm not saying give me everything. Can I do it? If I don't have that will and the motivation to do it, it means there is a comparison between the life of the Buddha. Buddha agreed to everything and he lived into that for 6 years. 6 years. So, what happens? Self discipline, or we say the austerity at the physical, mental, and emotional level. I'm just giving you a clear understanding. So when you follow a self-discipline regularly, without fail, for a couple of weeks and the months, it depends on some people, their intellect becomes free from the impurities of the mind, and the intellect can easily reflect on. You start living in a higher awareness. But if you think by listening you can live into higher awareness, forget about it. Not possible. I have to follow a discipline in the beginning. After that, I have to drop all the discipline. So that is the message hidden in it. So then what happened? So he started contemplating, and then Alar Kalam, the last master of the Buddha, taught him the meditation. Oh, you are ready. Your mind is already, you are qualified. Or if I become the Alar Kalam, I ask you, are you not influenced by anything in the world? No, I'm getting influenced. So go back to the same master first, previous master. To find the real self, understand clearly that there is an entity which never becomes sick or healthy, which never takes birth in the death, which is not influenced and dictated by any event happening in the world. That much is the teaching of the Eastern wisdom. But my mind is totally immersed in the experience of the birth and the death, in the experience of the sickness and the health, in the experience of fear, frustration, and the failure. That is why I have to follow a self-discipline, to at least to make some discernment. So Lord Kalam asked, are you not, can I ask you to sit for hours? Oh yes, no problem. Buddha said, okay, then sit under a tree. He saw the tree, so he said, okay, sit under the tree. It was nothing special about the tree. And then he got enlightenment. So I divided into two phases. The fifth, fifth stage is the middle way, finding the balance, and the sixth in that stage, he was awakened. When he was awakened, so he rushed to the kingdom. So that is what is going to happen in our life also. Oh, you look at this guy. He's the same guy, crazy guy. He used to get into depression and struggling. Now he is teaching this. Same thing happened with the Buddha. Buddha asked his dad and wife, please follow me. I'll show you the path of the peace. They did not agree. So this world, even if you are suffering, they will only say, look at this crazy guy. The world is so cruel. And when you reach to that state of the peace and happiness, ah, look at this. He is imitating, he is copying. Ah, I have seen you 10 years ago. Same thing happened with the Buddha. I have to tolerate that burden. I tolerated that burden in the same society where I was living. Look at this guy. Look at this guy who is saying that he is in peace and happiness. He's talking about that. He changed his tone. He's a hypocrite. People will definitely say the world is not going to leave you, whether you are good or bad. That is why I mentioned this stage. Buddha went to the kingdom and asked them. So, but your consistency pays. How the consistency pays? In the previous incident or event with your dad, you got upset. Now the same event is being repeated, and your dad perceives, oh, he is not affected by it. He's still calm. One time, second time, third time, fourth time. Now they say, oh, My son has changed. It takes time for the people to settle into your awareness. It doesn't happen in a day. The world starts realizing, no, yes, he has this. So he returned from the palace and he started teaching to his friends, and then the rest is the history. Rest is the history we already know. Buddha became enlightened and he taught for more than 45 years. Again, I say, when the population of India was hardly 5 million, and he visited the length and the stretch of India, is also a huge country. Huge country.
Yeah.
So I can put logically, he must have spoken, taught to every person minimum 3 to 4 times in his 45 years of teaching. Means every Indian must be exposed to his teaching. So now we have covered these 10 stages. Now we have to see what should be the modern interpretation and what should I do daily without fail in terms of the self discipline to see the result. That comes. So that's another way of teaching I'm just putting for you. If you pick up, you are committed, you understand it clearly, you keep your agenda fit. You always say that, please send me the invite. Did you understand what I want to say? I pick up your attitude and your behavior. So yes, remind your mind, I have to send invite to do these things every day without fail. So the first thing I have discussed in detail last year, and I'm using the phrase and explaining you. The moment you wake up, the first thing is Mangala Charan. It will hardly take you 5 minutes. What you have to do, first thing, do you wake up in the morning, you are frustrated or you are calm, your mind says it is the bad morning or the good morning, you have to practice Mangalacharan. What is Mangalacharan? You enter into an auspiciousness. How you enter into the auspiciousness? Pick up any Shanti mantra. I have told about many Shanti mantra. Take one Shanti mantra. You don't need to speak in Sanskrit. So your eyes, you close the moment you wake up in the morning and you remember, yes, I have entered into the spaciousness. First thought, and you sit on the bed itself. Your eyes are closed, and then you say, "Oh, let me use the Shanti mantra." Today's Shanti mantra is moving from the false to the real. Yes, let me move from the false to the real. You mentally are saying, let me move from the ignorance to wisdom. Let me move from the mortality to the immortality. Then go back to the first. Let me move from the false to the real. As far as I understand, after a few years of learning, that what is constantly changing, who takes the birth and the dies, is the false. So is the body false? One day your mind will go to the body, and body is false, mind is changing, mind is false, ego is false. Then what is? Oh, real self. Ignorance to wisdom. I don't know the real. That is why I have created an ego, And so I have to get rid of the ignorance. Ignorance causes the impurity of the mind. Did you see? I woke up and I was struggling, and then I am entering into the sacred space, and I feel a little bit calmer. That is how it will work, this Mangalachara. You are thinking, you are using the words and the sentences. Let me move from the mortality to immortality. Oh, so because of the mortality, I experience the fear, frustration about the death. I have seen lot of old people, they are dying. I have seen the death in the war. This body will die, but I will remain intact. That real self never dies. And you stay there. Let there be peace, peace, and peace. Or you can use another mantra, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be happiness for all, peace for all, wholeness for all, auspiciousness for all. The first thing you do. Now, if you wake up in the morning, you are struggling, you do it. You are calm on one day in the morning, you wake up, you do it. There is no excuse. In 1 week, you will cover all your ears. Then you will ask me, return all the money. Yes, I will do that. I will do that. First step. Then pick up, say for example, pick up any, any mantra. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Simply pick up this mantra. You can pick up any word. Let there be peace, peace, and peace. So now, another 5 minutes, your eyes are closed after doing the Mangala Charan, and you are now, mind has already settled. Now your mind is saying Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, or in English also. I'm not giving you any cult dogma religion so that you have to use the specific. You have to use what is the masses, knowledge. Let there be peace, peace, and peace. First, peace to the world outside, which is known to me. Second, peace to the unknown world that I don't know. From there, the suffering enters into my life, or good luck enters into my life. And third, peace is the real self, is of the nature of peace. I have to, with that understanding, mentally you are saying, let there be peace, peace, and peace. Or Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. But your intellect, first peace moving to the known world. Second, moving to the unknown world. Third, peace is within. 5 minutes. I'm not saying 5 hours. Question is, can you do it? Are you committed to do it? Without fail on even on a single day. So it becomes 10 minutes of the practice. Then you listen and learn from the audio file that I send you. In the morning, you are more aware and calm and relaxed and attentive and focused. So listen, I normally give you, just listen to maybe 15 minutes of listening, and that 15 minutes of listening, then close it. After that, you move to the contemplation and reflection. Contemplation means, did you focus on what you heard? Well, yes, I focused on it. Ask your mind, what principles were explained? Oh, this is the principle. He is saying that a self-discipline is like an austerity and a penance. So I have to commit myself every day without fail, whatever it takes. Oh, this is what I learned from today. Reflection. Am I doing it today? Yes, I'm doing it. I'm committed today. This is how the contemplation reflection works. This is how the Buddha could reach to that state just by seeing the four events. But we will reach to that level after a regular practice. Okay, and I know, I understand, but I don't experience, so nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. My ego says, I understand. Ask your ego, you understand why you are struggling, why you have fear, why you have frustration. I don't ask. So the life moves unexamined. So the third step is listening and learning. Fourth step is I said contemplation and reflection. And then you do the practice. Pick up any practice or the last one that I have given. But next week I will give you the practice only based on this structure. So, yes, okay, I will wait for a week. No, you have to do it from tomorrow. Mind instantly says, I will wait for tomorrow, next week. Buddha did not wait for a week. His commitment and my commitment. Now, once I have done the practice, then I say experience the change. One day you will experience the change. The other day you will not experience the change. The moment you experience the change, then you start applying that change in your thought, in your speech, in your action. If you are calm and relaxed, tell your mind that I feel calm and relaxed, which is this calm and relaxation is independent of anything outside mind. Why you are running outside, you fall into trouble. That realization comes by regular practice. It cannot come by simply listening and learning. You have to implement it. Don't be so serious. You are young and energetic, you can do it. Why you are falling into so serious? So if you don't do it, I'm still doing. What should I do after I reach to that state? What should I do? I should continue to go to the restroom. I have to go to the restroom. I have to eat the food to sustain this body. So why shouldn't I continue the practice? I have more time. I don't have my time is not wasted by my mind in anxiety and frustration and fear. So let me continue the journey. So that is what my master said. He told me that once a seeker, always a seeker until you leave the body. And then your life will be beautiful. But once a seeker, and then you become a teacher, and then your ego takes over. The teacher in you says, now I have reached to that state. That ego will make you fall. Once a seeker, always a seeker. So we have done the first is the Mangalacharan, second is the Japa, third is the listening and learning, fourth is the contemplation, reflection, and practice. Fifth is the experience, the change. I have to analyze. Changes have come within me independent of anything outside. Oh, yes, I was able to maintain the calm, and this calmness has come within. Oh, let me maintain that state of the calmness during the day today. Let me see, can I maintain? And what prevents me from that state of the calmness, you will recognize that we will take up in the evening session. So find out an hour in the evening, daily analysis. How many times I was into anxiety, frustrated, and how many times I have fear. How... But Buddha left the kingdom. Even he did not take even a single penny, and he was sleeping on the floor eating once a meal, and I entered into anxiety with such a small thing in my life. I have to analyze with comparison, I have to contemplate and reflect. That is one approach. And second thing, that let me find out, two times I was little bit anxious, but why I was anxious. So find out, did you have any expectation from that event or a person? And you will realize, because of the expectations and the attachment and the delusion, you were into anxiety, reaction, and the blame. Oh, so okay, let me remove all this blame and complaint and expectation. What is left? Calmness. And then in the evening, you also follow the practice before you fall into sleep. Why? Because you have cleared your mind, so that when you have cleared your mind means, it means lot. Every day in the evening before, why it means a lot. That unconscious, habitual, reactive, fearful, anxious mind which has entered into the body because of analysis, contemplation, and reflection, it has gone out of the body. And followed by the practice, when you wake up in the morning, your mind will remind you to follow the same routine, otherwise, you will forget. If you follow, it is to explain it, it is taking time, it's not a big deal. And once I remember you told me that you are going to write a book, start writing the practice. What is my overall score of calmness, peace, happiness? What is my overall score of delusion, stress, and suffering? Write it down. Get the habit of also the writing. So now you have a journal which tells you everything. And now, if you follow this routine for about, it depends on you, it may be a week only, maybe 2 weeks, or a few months, every time you will progress. Every day you will progress. Then you will declare the yes, I'm a seeker. Tell me what needs to be done. You come out with that tremendous motivation and inspiration. I will definitely do it. That is going to change you completely. So, when we are talking of a little change means what? I'm attending an event, so I have to pose myself, I'm very calm and relaxed. It's a matter of 1 hour, but internal struggle is continuing. That is what we all do in America. 99%. Are you excited? I entered into one event and there he said, "Are you excited?" I said, "No, I'm not excited." "Why should I be excited? I'm calm and relaxed so that I can listen to you. I can take the message what you teach me." And he kept looking at me. I said, "Yes, I'm not excited. I mean to say," I said, "don't say anything. Continue." That's why I don't attend any event now. I have attended more than 50 events in New Jersey and here. First question, are you excited? Why should I be excited? I should maintain my calmness so that I listen to you with awareness and attention. In excitement, I cannot pay attention to the whole message. So you see that after Mangala Charan, listening and learning. So listening and learning, it involves actively engaging with these teachings, actively engaging in these teachings through various medium. So I'm that is when I realized, and I said, oh, let me send the audio file. When I taught to you today, this is your session, this is your audio. I have nothing to do with it. You listen to it, you transfer it to other people, doesn't make any difference to me. Who cares? Because I know I'm going to teach something else next day. It is abundance of teaching. The variety of expression is there. I'll teach totally in a different way. There was an Indian woman who wanted me to teach her girl. Girl was almost 12 years old, very intelligent, very receptive. So I taught to her and I sent the audio file. Her mom shared that audio file to her sister so that her sister's son could also listen to it. But how did I know it? He did the mistake because email of her sister is not in my email, not in my Gmail. So I got a notification that should I share this file with this lady? I didn't know that. I said no. And then I sent an email to her that to whom you have shared this email. I don't have any objection. I told you, this is your property. But you should tell me, I will share. I have no problem. No, 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 don't worry, don't worry. So, so people do that. They still have the same level of reaction and sense of dishonesty with themselves. I told her that you have a sense of dishonesty to yourself, not to me. I don't care. Then I gave her a link. There is a Spreaker.com where 2,000 of my audio files are in a podcast. I said, you take this and you let your sister also take it. So listening and learning is crucial because it gives you a foundation of the spiritual knowledge. It exposes your mind to the wisdom. So how to do it? Not like a fiction, not liking a YouTube video. No, you have to sit down with a focus in the mind, set aside your regular time for listening daily. That is what I covered in listening and learning. So that once you sit down and you are listening with awareness and attention, your mind will acquire the habit. My master used to say, yes, how many hours I have taught you? 3 hours. So he used to say, get lost, go to your room, no food, another 2 hours minimum. You have to write down what I have taught you. I used to forget. Not all the messages were written. But when I started writing after a few weeks and a month, now I can grasp everything. I've written everything. I made good points. So I'm not asking if you make a point on the writing, good. If you don't make it, then keep in your mind. Today this message was told me, yes, this message. Okay. So you keep in your mind. Why you keep in your mind? Mind is already filled with strong reaction, blame, complaint, frustration. Now your mind is making a place to keep all these knowledge. That is going to change you. That is the importance of listening and learning. But you have created a space in your mind by Mangalacharan, the first step, and the second step by the japa. Om Shanti, 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 10 minutes. And then you listen. It's not that I'm important, knowledge is important. You're not listening to me, you are listening to the Eastern wisdom. Forget about this crazy guy. Leave this. You listen, extract the message. That is, once you have extracted the masses as it is. What is the beginning of the masses I gave you today? Do you remember? I said that entity which is not influenced or dictated by any event, any change in the world outside. That entity which never takes birth in the death. So I have to now think, contemplate. I have to focus on this statement to think. My mind keeps on thinking about the I will die, then what will happen? Nothing will happen. Whether I will die or you will die. Maybe the earth will smile as if, I'm lighter today. I'm lighter today. So I have to. That is the meaning. That is the meaning. I'm lighter. So you see the contemplation and reflection. So once I picked up the main point after listening and learning, then I said, I closed the audio, said, oh, let me focus on this. What you said, can I find anything in the world which is not influenced, dictated, or not changing? No. Oh, that is why every master says transcending the world. Oh, what does it mean by transcending? And you continue to contemplate from one thought to the second thought. Mind is focused, traveling on this principle. It will start purifying your mind and it will result into the reflection. Okay, so if I don't rely on anything that is changing outside, let me do it. Why I rely on it? Because of my expectation, because of the desire, because of the attachment. You asked me 100 times, so should I not marry? I did not say marry. But why you want to marry? To get attached. Then that is not a marriage. I have to exhaust my sensuality, my sense of mind feeling the pleasure in that sensuality. So I have done it maybe 100 times. Now do I feel and experience the mind is awake. Mind says that pleasure comes and goes. It is temporary. It has no value. Then I enter into the reflection stage. So that is important in the contemplation reflection. So once your contemplation and reflection, so what is contemplation? It is an act of thinking deeply. If I use the word deeply, you are thinking deeply. So deeply on a concept, on a principle that I talk about. So when you think deeply, you have an insight. When you have an insight, it takes your mind away from the impurity. When it takes your mind away from the impurity, then what happens? Then you start living into a higher awareness. And then the reflection comes. What is the reflection? Is the process of relating what you contemplated into your personal life. It further takes you to the rise of awareness. That is what Buddha did for 6 years under that first teaching. But in the first 2 years, he could not understand. He was reduced to a skeleton. So people do these practices unconsciously and habitually, they don't reach anywhere. But by luck or by destiny, or he has to become the Buddha that after 2 years he started. For maybe 5 years, I was saying that why my master is so crazy. He's talking about there is an entity which does not change, which is eternal and all pervading. I don't see anything eternal. And I did not dare to ask him that where is eternal? Where is all pervading? And I continued to live into the same craziness. And when I dared to ask him, he said, now you are becoming a seeker. You have contemplated and reflected. I could see that. So some people can do it in a week. You are more intelligent. You can do this week, I know. Only this week is important. Reflection, that is what the reflection is. Then we internalize. Why it is important? Contemplation, reflection helps you to internalize the knowledge. One is the intellectual understanding. You are listening and learning for the first time about these concepts, so it is understanding. Your mind intellect says, I agree. But when you do it again, when you listen to it again, then you internalize the knowledge by contemplation and reflection. We have already internalized the knowledge of the world, but the world is suffering.
mm,
So I have to de internalize. Instead, I have to internalize this knowledge of the Eastern wisdom regularly by self discipline every day without fail. Then what happens once you have tomorrow in the morning you did, oh, now you see your mind is so much clear. Mind says, now let me do the practice. Oh, you already have a practice. So you are absorbed into the practice. And once you return from the practice, you have a beautiful experience. And you say, I'm feeling calm. Yes. I'm feeling joyful. Yes. I will check that how calm and the joyful I will continue. I will continue throughout the day. I will not break this calm in my personal life, in my life of relationship, in my professional life, in my social life. Let me see how it goes. How many times I forget it. So that will give you a real check, reality check, how much impurity is there in the mind and how much purity is there in the mind. So the practice and experience. Practice, you experience it, and now you take this experience in the world outside. I was experienced in meditation. I experienced the calmness which is totally independent of anything outside. I did not depend on anything. But then it means the calmness is within me. But why I lost this calmness in my professional life? Why I got into fear and frustration and anxiety and fear? Oh, there must be some reason in the mind. So I every day there is an analysis, there is a level of observation. Then it means that I have to leave the profession and I have to leave everything. No, you have not to leave everything. Whatever you are doing outside, keep on doing it. And you will discover that now you are improving your professional life. You are improving your personal life. You are improving your family life. You are improving your life of relationship. But how come? Oh, there is an inner calm and the peace. I have a higher level of receptivity. There is no issue which I confront with anyone in the world. My thought, speech, and action has improved. So not only there is an external benefit, now you understand I can excel into my professional life by inner change. Not only outer life but also the inner life. Oh, so that is the importance of keeping a self-discipline and do it continuously without fail. Answer is yes. And then what will happen? Your mind will inspire, apply the wisdom. I gave you one example of the wisdom. It happens even live, even in the life today. Sometimes you are stuck with the people and they insult you. Don't you feel? Yes, I feel it. But that feeling is on the surface level. I instantly reflect on it, and it evaporates. It sublimates. Oh, you have that expectation. My mind says you had that expectations. I did not fulfill your expectations, and I changed the tone. Oh, my dear friend, I'm sorry. I responded you differently, but my mind was saying that I should respond to you in this way. You are a great person. I start with that tone. What I'm doing, I'm helping others. No, I'm helping myself. I evaporate that. I sublimate that. You learn this art. It helps you to how to live in the world outside without any pain and the pleasure or the fear or the frustration.
mm,
You don't worry. You instantly change. Oh, I could realize. I was I said this in so that he could change, but he's already living in ignorance and he expected me to say this. Let me fulfill your expectation. You continue to live in ignorance. What
mm.
the hell? Why should I sit and start teaching if one is not ready? That is what is the daily activities in your life. It involves what it involves. You review, you analyze your thoughts, your emotions, your actions throughout the day. And you try to check and observe the thought, emotions, and actions and instances of anxiety, stress, and reactivity. I did not have any chance, a slight chance of any form of anxiety, reaction, and duality today. Can you imagine the life of that state of the calmness? By following a discipline, I will not follow a discipline. I can't do that. I was struggling. No, you struggling, even then you do it. Even then you do it. Don't you know if you have an urge, you go to the washroom? You say, wait, you have told me a couple of times, wait for a minute. Why can't you tell your mind, wait for a minute, let me do the practice, then I'll talk to you? That will only help you. So I just gave another way of reflection. This is going to help you at all. I explained you clearly. And when you do it, you will find a tremendous change in your life. And I hope the next week I will focus on practically
Right.
on this